What's going on, everybody? This is a little bit different than what you're used to for the Sunday morning. Andrew, good job first. Anyway, welcome into this is our first episode of this season's Let's Talk Football Fantasy Football. Let's talk football, fantasy football.
Let's talk fantasy football.
There you go. We'll just go with that. With Let's Talk Football, we are two of the hosts. Our third host, David Wright, is a hardworking individual and worked late last night, so he's not going to be here with us today. But we are going to hold it down and get you guys updated as to what we're going to be doing this season, things you can look out for. We are game day ready. Football's back. We're in our jerseys. We're pumped. But welcome to the Let's Talk Football Fantasy Show. We're going to help you hopefully win your fantasy leagues.
Unless you're in it with me, then you can get second.
We're here to answer any questions. I guess we'll get into what we're doing here in a minute. But I am Sid Swinton. This is my lovely wife, Ash. For those of you that don't already know, we are definitely the Hot Mess Express when it comes to this stuff. So bear with us when we make mistakes because it's definitely going to happen. That's exactly what we are known for,
especially like the first time, because we have fun stuff to share, but we haven't ever done it before, so
bear with us.
And David should be back. David should be here for like the regular season stuff. I don't know if his work schedule allows him to be ready for preseason happenings, but he should be back for the regular season.
Yep. And David Wright is our third host. If you guys watched us last year, it was me, David, and Sean. Ash went ahead and won 2 leagues that she was in, so she kicked Sean to the curb and took over his hosting spot, beating Sean out in the championship.
That's what happens when you get beat out. You get to be the next host of Let's Talk Fantasy Football.
Yep.
That's Dalton, by the way.
Okay, I was like, I don't know who that is, so I don't want
Dalton, no, you ain't. Dalton beat me like my first year of fantasy or second year.
Good to see Dalton. Haven't seen that dude in a while here in the comments. Nice. Thanks for joining. So we're going to go ahead and start off with something that we're going to like carry over from our Let's Talk Football in the Morning with Sean and the Swintons. This show is kind of like taking over that show. So that show won't be going on anymore during the season. It'll be back next year, or after the season, most likely. During the season, though, we're going to run a fantasy show on Sundays, me and Ash. And then after us, Sunday mornings is going to be a Let's Talk Football. I'm not sure what they're calling it. Sunday morning or Sunday special or something like that. They're going to highlight all the games and stuff for you, though.
But it has
right after us.
Walsh brothers on it.
Sean and
Nick, I think.
Yeah. And
there's a lot of moving parts in Let's Talk Football. So if I'm wrong, I know for a fact the Walsh brothers are in it because they were on it last season and they're great. I love watching them. Dylan comes. His name's Dylan, right?
Let's Talk Football
comes
Sunday.
With the smoke.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, Dylan and Colin Walsh
are
going to be holding it down with Sean, and I think they have a fourth guest, but I'm not entirely sure which one it is. Anyway, we're going to carry over 1 or 2 segments from our Sunday morning show. If you watch that one, you know what they are, or going to hear it. They're going to sound familiar because we've done it before, but we're going to keep it rolling with the what's been happening. We like kind of integrating ourselves into these shows since it's all about us and it's our shows, and we can do that.
I do what I want. I'll go first. I started back at work this week on Monday. There we go. We forgot Nathan Snell.
So there's Nick Rosario and Nathan Snell and the Walshes are going to be the hosts on that show.
Okay, anyway, it's about me. I started back at work. So that's been fun. No kids yet. Kids come tomorrow. So tomorrow's the first day with kids. We got to meet the teachers, so I got to see all my kids. So I'm super, super excited to finally just get started. It's a long, long week setting up, making sure you're ready to go for the school year. So I'm glad that's over. And I can finally just start. That's really all I've been doing. It's been long hours. But
yeah, she spent like 12-hour days all week long there.
Yeah, fun times.
But yeah, getting right back into it. So that's definitely really pretty much consumed your whole life. As for me, not much has changed. I pretty much say the same thing every week. Working on my cards, hanging out with the fam. Last night we did another break, and it was pretty spectacular. We hit a Trevor Lawrence auto. That was definitely the highlight of the break last night. That was sweet. But other than that, that's kind of been it for me.
Oh, you want to see what I did during the break? Please hold. I made stickers for
another person that
those.
requested designs and stickers.
For a different person that does breaks on TikTok. So if you need stickers, that's been fun to make. I made Sydney stickers. I made a couple other people stickers that do breaks.
Yep.
Card stuff. So that's been
pretty cool. Speaking of like breaks and stuff, we're gonna run a mock draft a little later in the show, and included in that is gonna be this man right here, Justin O'Connor, who has been in my breaks a couple times. Somebody I met through TikTok doing cards. Awesome guy. He actually got his girlfriend in the break last night, and she did her first break. It didn't go the best for her, but it was a lot of fun. She said she really enjoyed it, so I was really excited. To be in the break and participate and stuff like that. So she had a really good time, which I was really excited to hear. The computer's really far away, so I'm going to try and read this. Ash, you have shown
tremendous acts of strength and perseverance by starting your work schedule strong. Squid, you have shown humility and cuttingness, continuing to grow and build your sports empire. Justin's like the sweetest soul in the whole world, I swear.
Justin is awesome. And Justin's going to be in our mock draft. He's not going to be on the show, but he's going to be he's going to take up one of the spots and just to give us another person live doing the mock draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Andrew said, "Wait, can you make me stickers?"
I could make you stickers if you sent me your logo. Your stickers would be cool too because you have cool colors.
But that's what's been happening with us. We're going to go ahead and kind of get into what we're going to be doing for the show. So we're just going to give you, since it's a little too early, most people aren't drafting just yet. They kind of wait until the start of the season wait
till the preseason's almost over or is over.
To try and avoid those last-minute injuries, stuff like that. You don't want to draft somebody in the first round and they don't even play because they got hurt in the second preseason game or whatnot. So they haven't drafted yet. So there's not too much to talk about fantasy-wise. So we're just going to give you a little highlight of what we're doing or what to expect from this show going forward in the season. And then we'll give you a couple other topics that we're going to jump into. But so here's a little sneak peek as to a couple of the normal segments we're going to be having on our show for this season. Here's the first one.
All right, so that first segment is the report card segment. If you watched the fantasy show last year, you saw that David would come on and kind of just talk about all the leagues and how everyone was doing. We'll probably mostly showcase the Let's Talk Football Family League that we have going right now, just to talk about how everyone's doing, how we're doing in our other drafts, because I know I'm in like 6. You're probably in way more than that. I'm sure David's in a few, so that's just a little segment to talk about how we are doing in fantasy, so I can talk about how I'm doing much better than everybody else because I'm just better.
Yeah, the other part of that report card is so another segment in the show. I'm going to show you right now and then explain how that ties into the report card. So the Q&A segment, we're gonna make a post early in the week, and you can drop your questions. Absolutely, ask questions live while we're on air for any last. That's the reason. Another reason we're going on Sundays is to help those last minute questions where you have somebody that might not start. They're on their game time decisions. You need like last minute. Who should I pick up to play today because everybody's off, like my guy's hurt, stuff like that.
Or I do this a lot where I'm like, oh, should I play this person or this person? Because I think they're pretty like equal talent level or going to have like equal success. So I like freak out for the last like 30 minutes before football starts. Be like, should I play this guy? Should I play this guy? Should I play this guy? So a lot of times last year I would ask like, hey, would you play this guy or this guy? Or these two people or this one person? So
we'll have that segment, and then that's also going to be incorporated in the following week's report card to see how we did. We like to we're not just going to give you advice and then not talk about how bad we were or how good we were, because we're definitely going to tote that if we were right, as I did many times with Pat Fryermuth last year.
If I'm wrong, I'm not going to talk about it.
But yeah, so that's going to be a fun one. That's definitely going to be interactions with you guys and stuff. Hopefully helping you guys out there. And then one of the last segments we're going to do on a regular basis, like I said, because it's a last minute show on Sunday, right before the games, is so desperate times calls for desperate players. It's going to be, like I said, that last minute, like, oh man, my player is sick or he got hurt last minute and now I need somebody to start. Who should I start type thing. So it's going to be a good time. Just hoping to help you guys out for our move. Sean knows.
That's all they talked about last week, I swear.
But those are the three big segments. We're going to, talk about news and fantasy, stuff like that as well. But those are going to be the main ones to look out for. So
yeah, the desperate one probably will talk a lot about like injured players, sick players. Who do I pick up when James Washington gets hurt at practice? Now the Cowboys have no wide receivers at all whatsoever. It's answering those kind of questions.
Yep.
Or those kind of concerns, I guess.
And then, so yeah, those are the big segments there. And then for today's show, though, we're going to just talk just a very brief draft strategy for what we have. And then we're going to jump into our mock draft so we can just kind of get into that, kind of go through that as we go. Look,
I know what we're dealing with. It's sad times. Noah Brown, if you're wondering, Noah Brown is doing very good at camp right now. If you're in a dynasty league and you need somebody.
We want Dallas.
Yeah, I'd want us too with all those injuries. We don't look too scary right now.
But so Ash, what do you like to do? What are some tidbits for, say, somebody new to fantasy or somebody that's going into their first draft? Just something to try and think about, or some sort of strategy.
My strat, because I think fantasy is scary at first, and it's really not as hard as I think we sit up here and make it seem sometimes. So, like, if you're new, and you're drafting and you just have, like, no idea what to do when you get to that, like, 3rd, 5th, 6th round, I would just look at what player position do I have. Like, if I have 4 wide receivers going into, like, round 3, 4, or 4, 5, and 6, I definitely need to start thinking about, well, I need to get my running backs now. I need to get my quarterback. I need to get my tight end, whatever. And I would literally just look at the list because it'll give you a list of who is the top. Just go with the top guy. Like, it's not that serious. Like, if you just do not have any idea what to do on your pick, just go with the best available. Sometimes the best available is not great because it'll be like somebody who's injured and probably going to be out for a bunch of weeks. So just keep that in mind that, like, oh, this guy is the best available, but I know he's not going to play week 1 through 6. And I need somebody that's going to play, like, right now. So that's the only time I would really, like, avoid the best available. But I know I was talking to, shout out Kate, who's very just, like, nervous. Like, I don't know what I'm doing at all. And I'm like, seriously, you need a quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a flex player, a tight end, whatever. Get your lineup, take the best available if you absolutely have no idea what to do, and just go from there. You'll do okay. I mean, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
I value running backs in the first few rounds because there are a lot of good wide receivers in the league, a lot of good wide receivers. There are not as many running backs as there are wide receivers that are going to get you the points you need. So I heavily value running backs in the first, like, 3 rounds. If I don't have 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, that would be very rare for me, personally.
Definitely.
I make the mistake of not valuing tight ends as much as I should because I get to the very late rounds and then I'm like, oh, snap, what am I going to do now? And then I get bums that I'm switching out every week because I didn't get anybody. But my thing is, like, if you're super in doubt, just take the best available, look at what positions you really are lacking in, and make sure you start stacking up there. And get you your running backs early because they won't be there later.
Yep. Yeah. No. Definitely great advice. I definitely do very similar things. Can you do me a favor? Hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only I think piece of advice that I would do for new people to fantasy that have never done it before or anything like that, do mock drafts. Like they're free, they're easy, they go quick because the computer picks all the picks except for yours. Doing mock drafts helps you get an idea of how to build your team, like where players are going, different things like that. So, for example, like we're about to do a mock draft, it gives you an idea of what it is. Basically, it just lets you pick random spots in the draft. If you know where you're at drafting wise, you can pick your spot specifically and draft and see how you do and just practice that over and over again. Don't freak out when you actually go to your draft and the players are completely different, because drafting versus a computer versus real people is always different. People have their own personal preferences. They're going to take their own personal players that they think are better, whereas the computer's kind of going based off of just strictly the numbers and the projections.
Andrew's going to draft Gainwell and we're all going to laugh at him. Things like that will happen.
No RBs in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, if you don't have a running back number 1 by round 3, yeesh. It's not going to be a good time for you.
But yeah, definitely mock drafts are very important. They help you just get an idea of how it all works, what to expect when it comes to the draft and draft time. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We'd love to assist in any way possible.
Yeah, I like to do mocks too because I'm like, well, what would happen if I took a wide receiver right here? Do I like how the rest of my team pans out or not? Because I did that a lot for the Dynasty one. I was like, well, what if I took a quarterback right here? Am I going to like how the rest of my team fills in after that? And it just helps you to get an idea of like, okay, I'm definitely not going to go quarterback there because I did not like the rest of my picks after that, even though I liked my one quarterback pick. So.
And then to piggyback off of what Ash was saying about taking the best player available, there are people that are actually paid money. It is their job to make projections on players. It's their job to make them the best available. They're being paid to do that. So sometimes it's just best to trust the experts, trust the guys that are actually being paid to rank them. If you're not too sure, go with the guy that's making money to do that and just take that best available. I did a big money league for a few years with a buddy of mine that wasn't huge into football, but he liked like fantasy and stuff. And he every time like he didn't give me a lot of like we should go with this guy because I think he's great. He did well. This guy's projected more. Why aren't we taking him? He's projected more. Like you should take him. He's projected more. And 9 times out of 10, if I took that guy over the guy I wanted, we did better. So it's definitely not a bad idea to just go with the guy that's projected more. That's their whole job is to make projections, and that's why they come out the way they do. Morning, Mr. Fingers. Appreciate you jumping in.
The experts do know more than we do most of the time.
Exactly.
Shocking, I know.
So those are our little tidbits for draft strategy. If you have any questions, obviously drop them in comments. We'll definitely answer them right away. Or check out the Facebook page. We're going to put one post a week to drop comment or questions in, and every Sunday we're going to answer those for you.
There will also be a post once a week on the Facebook page about white waiver wire guys that we...
White waiver wire guys.
Ooh, jeez. Don't know. That's not what I meant to say. Hot mess. Waiver wire... Because it was Wednesday, waiver wire. There's too many W's. But anyway, we're going to talk about those guys and who you should like be keeping an eye on in case you need it to pick anybody up or if your player's on a bye week and you really need somebody. So, that's not what I meant, I swear.
That's hilarious.
Okay, bye.
But yes, there's going to be another post for Wednesday waiver wires. We're going to answer that one in the comments and make a post about who our top waiver wire pickups and stuff, because that is a Wednesday thing. It's not something that you can wait for till Sunday to decide who you want on waivers. That's what she was trying to say. She wasn't trying to.
Y'all should not. You got to stop because it's just going to make me look bad. And I didn't mean it like that. They don't, and they probably won't. I'm not putting any white guy on the list at all this season now.
Because of that. Oh, the Hot Mess Express in full swing. I told you guys. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and
Y'all make me look so bad.
that was you did it, girl.
I didn't mean it like that.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our mock draft. Let me throw this up here. Bear with me if I mess something up here. This is the first time I've ever done one of these on here and streamed it the right way. So we're gonna go ahead and start the draft. Ash has the number 1 pick. Our buddy Justin has the number 4 pick. I have the 7th pick. Everything else is gonna be picked by a computer. We'll kind of go through it and try and give a little bit of insight as to why we did what we did, and go from there.
There will not be a single white boy drafted today in this mock draft for my team.
Ashley.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm dead. This
I
is
can't
awesome.
even. Alright, I doubt it's any surprise to anybody that I'm gonna go Najee right here. I have the first pick in the girls league this year. I swear I did not do that on purpose. So if you're in the girls league and you're watching this is probably a pretty good indication of where my brain's gonna be. So if you want somebody and I'm around your pick, you should probably snatch them up.
So it went Christian McCaffrey second.
Okay, Jonathan Taylor is not falling to 4.
I mean, if Najee goes 1, he could. Justin, but again, this is where personal bias comes in. It could change on your draft day. You never know. Somebody could take Patrick Mahomes with the first pick because they want a quarterback and they want that guy. It just.
I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I randomized it. That's what happened.
And then Justin took Jonathan Taylor, who many presume to be the number 1 option this year in fantasy for redraft leagues. Some do in Dynasty as well. So that's definitely a steal at 4. I am pick 7, which is probably one of the rougher picks to take because most of the top tier guys are gone. But since it's a redraft league and it's not Dynasty, I don't mind going Derrick Henry. This is, in my opinion, his last big season before a fall off because of age and injuries. So I don't mind taking him with my first pick there. And then it goes Austin Eckler, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs. If you notice, the computer has done running back, receiver on all 3 of those teams so far. I personally like getting my running backs early, and the fact that DeAndre Swift is there, I think he's going to have a great season with a great offensive line in Detroit. I'm going to go ahead and double up on my running back, get my running backs early. I'm going Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift. There goes our first tight end. Back to Justin, who has Jonathan Taylor. We're going to see what he does with his second pick.
Andrew said, what pick in a 12-person league do you want to have? I want to be at the beginning or the end. I don't want to be those middle, like
I think
that.
1, 2, or 3, or
I'm even okay with
12, I think, are my top 5.
Tight
top
end.
4. Mark Andrews.
See, that is something I would never, ever, ever do. You'll never catch me getting a tight end in the first 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
All right.
And then she complains all season that she doesn't have a good tight end. It happens every year.
So I'm probably going to go running back again. Aaron Jones is there, which I've had to listen to Sydney tell me way too much about A.J. Dillon all year, so I'm probably not going to go there. I'm going to go Javonte Williams just because I think he's going to have a good year. Dang, I could go running back again and be really stacked here.
The number 1 overall pick, though, is my answer, Andrew. That's the pick I want. Personally.
This is where this is kind of why I don't like the first pick too, because then I get stuck right here. I'm like, what do I do now? Who do I want now? I could go quarterback and get Josh Allen.
That massive piece of magic.
Because he's not going to make it back to me.
Tar Heels. Javonte's going to have a great season. I feel it.
I'm going to go Josh Allen and see what happens because I'm curious.
And then it goes Debo, Mike Evans. Look at team 3. 3 rounds in and has nothing but receivers. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans. He's going to be hurting for running backs. We'll show you that team at the end just to highlight how going receivers at the beginning is really tough when it comes to running backs. Back on our boy Justin, who's got his tight end position locked up. He probably won't take another one of those till the very end. We've got running back, and I'm curious who he goes to next. Zeke. He takes Ezekiel
That's
Elliott.
funny because I was honestly debating Zeke at my pick, which is again where bias comes in because that's probably a really homer pick, but
not bad at all. Aaron Jones goes right after that. Leonard Fournette for there, and then it's to me. I don't like any of the running backs here for the value that they have, so I'm going to look at receivers and who I like. I like to get receivers that I really like their quarterbacks, and Justin Herbert, I think, is one of, if not the most talented young quarterbacks in the league. I'm going Keenan Allen, his number one option. Many consider to be one of the best route runners in the league. He absolutely is a beast, so I'm going to go there, lock in my number one receiver. Got two more tight ends off the board, and Kyle Pitts, and then George Kittle, and another quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Teammate is another one that's stacking up on receivers. All right, and then back to me. Same running backs that are there are meh. I like a couple of them that are later down that I think I'm going to get on my next turn, so I'm going to go receiver again. The question is who? I'll back up. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I've said many a time that I think Terry McLaurin is going to have a great season because he's playing with the best quarterback he's ever had, and this is the best receiver Wentz has ever had. I'll happily take Terry McLaurin in the 4th round when he goes for 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns this year.
Andrew said something about Hunt. He just requested a trade. So is that going to affect where you go and draft him at, or will you kind of do the same thing?
I think it I think it affects where you take Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb goes a little higher because if Kareem Hunt gets traded, Nick Chubb's value, I think, skyrockets. He's just an animal and can stay on the field all 3 downs now. So I think that's very big there. What did I miss? Massive piece of magic.
Right.
Josh
I need a wide receiver, and I'm probably going to double up on wide receivers here.
Pick Julio. You have at least one. He said, pick Julio. You got to have at least one player on your team that gets gets you little to no points. There you go. Andrew, how dare you? Can you scroll down in the draft chat?
On the draft chart. So, because because I'm looking at Sutton a lot because I really like Sutton a lot.
Do you want to see the overall? Sorry.
I really like Deontay. Well, I'm going to go Waddle. And then I think I'm going to go Sutton.
This is hilarious doing this live talking to Andrew because he just
put in a trade.
No, he just put a player on the trade block in our Dynasty League.
Who is it?
Kareem Hunt.
Oh, my goodness. So I went back-to-back wide receivers because I need them.
So Ash went Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, who I really like, although if you notice, Ash has Cortland Sutton and Javonte Williams. That's a running back and receiver on the same team.
I don't really
That is something that you might want to avoid just because that's a whole offense. This is
putting a lot of faith into
the Broncos offense. If they aren't what they are supposed to be, then it could be a tough one.
Pause real quick. Can you scroll because they can only see my top 3 picks. They can't see the next round.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yes, up on top. There you go.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I told you, Hot Mess Express. We're still learning this.
We've never done this before. We didn't even know how to share the screen until today. So,
yeah. So bear with us. All right, that's what you meant. Sorry, gotcha. So Justin on his 4th round pick took Michael Pittman, who I think is absolutely going to eat this year. Has a great quarterback this year. And then DJ Moore in the 2nd round, I think, is actually a great pick as well. Great quarterback. Or upgrade. I think Baker is slept on and should be an upgrade over Sam Darnold for DJ. And DJ is a great receiver. I love that Justin got his Panther. Keep pounding there.
Justin.
All right, back to me. The quarterbacks available aren't terrible.
I agree, Sean, really quick. That Sutton, I'm really high on Sutton now, too, with Tim Patrick being out.
Yep.
So.
What does this say? I can't see. David Love talking about him last year. Michael Pittman or Cortland Sutton? Maybe Cortland Sutton. I have to always keep counting.
You're
And then Andrew said hi.
gonna run out of time on your pick if you
Oh,
don't pick.
sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things. Let's see. There's a bunch of running backs here that I really like, so I'm gonna go ahead and take one of those. I like Elijah Mitchell a lot for the Niners, so I'm gonna go ahead and snatch up a running back there. All right, and then
keep pounding. You know what didn't keep pounding? That break yesterday.
That's true. And then Lamar Jackson comes off the board. Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins. I was looking at J.K. Dobbins a lot. Oh, look at this. My fourth running back. I can leave him on the bench until he takes over that number one spot in Green Bay. Let's go, A.J. Dillon, Quadzilla himself.
This is Sydney's third live mock draft.
Yep.
This is the third one he's gotten A.J. Dillon in. So if any of you are wondering...
If you would like A.J.
If you would like A.J. Dillon and you know Sydney's pick is coming up soon, grab him. I don't know why you feel so inclined to grab him, but you would need to do that. Oh, man. Oh no, Dalton Schultz.
Damian Harris, the running back for New England, is who Justin took.
Okay, I'm actually going to go like one of my favorite tight ends in the league right now, and this is something I normally wouldn't do, but I'm normally not in position one, so.
TJ Hawkinson from Iowa.
He is an Iowa boy. I love him. I think he's going to be great. Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous.
6th round, A.J. Dillon, Quadzilla. They're going to be a running team this year.
And then just going after, I will say this, after the first few, when I get my two running backs, I stop looking at them and it bites me in the butt. So just know that I will probably be coming to you like mid-season begging you to trade me one of your running backs because I do this every season. With that being said, I'm not probably going to go running back here because Miles Sanders is at the top. Yep, bye. That's a terrible mindset to have. Don't just not get somebody because they play on a team that you hate.
That's another draft strategy a la Ash. Don't draft Eagles.
I blacklist players and I blacklist the entire Eagles franchise. Is what happens. I had somebody on mine and now I forgot. No, here we go. Oh, look at St. Brown just sitting there waiting for me. But then Robinson is there, and the whole point of like good quarterback, good wide receiver.
You like that part?
Is very intriguing to me. And I just took Hawkinson, so do I really have that much faith? Oh, I'm gonna go Robinson.
I like that pick a lot. I think he's having a great year.
Rams wide receivers did me good last year. I know he wasn't one of them last year, but they carried.
When Robert Woods was healthy, him and Cooper Kupp were both top 12 fantasy wide receivers, and Allen Robinson is a bigger jump ball guy than Robert Woods was, so it's a little bit different.
That's not the same. I can't say colors now.
What did you say?
I said blacklist players. I put them on my list.
Oh, and you've taken 2 white guys.
Oh, I said I was going to do that.
Just say it. Justin took Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is an absolute steal. He's an absolute stud. He's going to ball out. Just getting better this year.
If I didn't take TJ, I would have taken Amon-Ra.
I like that pickup a lot. I want to go receiver because I need to get deeper, but it's so hard to pass up on CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. Oh, this is tough.
This is tough. Too.
I'm actually going to go Brandon Cooks because I think he's going to have a great year in Houston. They're going to be down a lot. They're not going to be winning a lot of games. They're going to have to throw a lot, and he is a great receiver, and it seemed like him and Davis Mills had a great connection last year. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes right after that, after I said I wanted him.
See, you have 4 running backs, though, so guess where I'm running after we draft is I'm running to Sydney crying that I need a running back and to please trade me.
And then this is another one that everybody sleeps on for some reason. I don't get it. But Adam Thielen absolutely eats every year. People just think because Justin Jefferson's there, he's going to take all the targets or whatnot. But Adam Thielen is still a top 20 wide receiver fantasy-wise every year, has been, doesn't miss.
Kirk Cousins throws a lot of touchdowns.
Yep.
And he's got to throw them to somebody, and they're not all Justin Jefferson.
So I have no problem taking them. Justin.
Who did he take?
How dare you?
Oh, no. Oh, no. That hurts. So if you've watched anything that Sydney does, it's Patty French fries, always gets drafted by. That was cold. He knew what he was doing.
And that's his second tight end. How dare he?
He knew Patty wasn't coming back to him. But now, look, if he sees that you have like a running back or something he may want, he just got Patty, that's trade bait right there. Because I would be, look at what I have right in your face with Patty. All right. I need to get a running back. I'm going to be a homer and go Tony Pollard here because I think he's going to have a good year with a lot of our wide receivers out, at least at the beginning. They have him catching lots of balls at practice. So I like Pollard. I think he'll do good.
Anthony, that's because they are sleeping. Somebody needs to wake them up.
Who's sleeping?
He said you must think fantasy draft owners all have narcolepsy. According to you, all they do is sleep. And then this is another great draft strategy. If you know somebody in your league really wants a player and you can steal them late and use them as trade bait, dude, that's absolutely a strategy you can implement.
See, this is about normally where I would take my quarterback if I didn't take one earlier, because this is where I would get like a Russell Wilson, a Dak Prescott, one of those guys, but I already have my quarterback. And I already have my tight end, which is very rare for me by round 9 to already have both of those people. I think I'm going to go wide receiver again. And let's see. Bateman, London. Bateman is the guy because who else do they have? I don't love Lamar Jackson, but I like him better than Mariota, and Drake London hasn't been in that system yet, so you just don't know. And then I'm not taking an Eagles player. I like Burks. I'm going to go Bateman just because I like his quarterback better than any of those other guys' quarterbacks. And he is number 1 because who else is there now? Not Patty French fries. Lots of. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking. You could turn everything I say into something it's not.
Right after you mock Drake London, Justin takes him with his next pick. Justin,
I don't hate it. I was really debating it.
Man, French fries is usually my go-to tight end, so the fact that you stole him from me really hurts my feelings. I'm gonna go ahead and go Dallas Goedert. Jalen Hurts isn't the most accurate down the field passer, but Dallas Goedert is a great tight end. And when you don't have a great arm, you lean on your tight end a lot, so I don't mind taking him there. And then I'm gonna go quarterback because I don't want to get stuck with nobody. Matthew Stafford in the 10th round is an absolute steal.
Yeah.
They throw a lot. If Cooper Kupp can go in the first round, somebody's throwing him the ball and he's going to score a lot of points. I have no problem taking Matthew Stafford as my guy. So that is my quarterback. So I am set starting-wise now. It is time to fill out my roster. No free passes today. Let's go, Anthony. I did not. I wish I had. He flipped that upside down, and that's what I got.
That's up.
All right. What is Justin going to do with his?
This is where I start to get like, I don't know. Because like your starting roster is set. Now it's just how do I want to fill up my bench to make sure I'm okay if any of my starting guys gets hurt. Which I'm not very good at doing. I'll be really honest.
Decisions for Justin. He's already got 4 receivers, 3 running backs, 2 tight ends. It's time for him. He went quarterback. Going for the Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, wow.
If his rushing ability is anything that it seems to be, that it should be a monster pick, could be a steal of a draft, honestly. A running quarterback usually is way more valuable than a passing quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a great example of that. He's not the best passing quarterback. It doesn't have the best passing numbers, but was a top 5 fantasy quarterback strictly because of his rushing abilities. So having a rushing quarterback is definitely not a bad idea. Ash has 3 running backs, one of them being a backup, 5 wide receivers now, her tight end, and her quarterback. Where are we going next?
Alan Lazard, because I took a page out of your book.
The future Hall of Famer Alan Lazard, as Rogers said, going from one Hall of Famer to the next, with Devontae saying that about Derek Carr. Great commentary. If you guys missed that, should definitely check it out. Stafford has the...
And then I went Melvin Gordon because I have Javonte Williams. So just in case anything were to happen to Javonte Williams, I have the next guy. For me, fantasy-wise, my 2 running backs that I take at the very beginning, I just pray to God they stay healthy the whole season and take the L on their bye week and just go from there. Not necessarily a great strategy, but it's worked for me a few times.
Hey, you won 2 of your 3 leagues you were in last year, so... Stafford does have a unhealable elbow injury, but if you look, he's still throwing no-look passes in practice and looks just fine. I am not worried about him at all. Sky Moore is who Justin takes. Love that pickup.
I like that.
But again, if you can grab a receiver that has a great quarterback, they're probably going to eat. I have no problem. Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill, so there's plenty of targets to go around. Love that pickup there. In the 11th round.
Justin, sorry. Would be doing great
you just hurt his feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a lot of young guys on his team. He'd be doing great, like, dynasty-wise.
I'm going to go with another good quarterback that's going to throw a lot, that has some receiver trouble right now. Andrew, I'm talking to you. Chris Godwin coming off an ACL injury, not 100% just yet. Mike Evans tweaking a hamstring, and we all know Julio's going to get hurt. So the next guy on that roster is Russell Gage. I have no problem taking him. He balled out with Matt Ryan, so he's going to have a good season, I think, when inevitably those Bucs receivers get hurt. Sid must be hungry. He wants everybody to eat today.
He's like an Italian mom.
I got an Italian grandma.
You have some Italian in you.
All right, and then so there's a few examples of receivers that have great rookie years, a sophomore slump, and then surge in their 3rd year. I'm not comparing him to these players, but I think he is somebody that can definitely have a bounce back year after having a bad year this last year, and a great rookie season. New quarterback could definitely change it. So just an example of those. Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel both had great years 2 years ago, had down years last year, 3 years ago, and then down years 2 years ago, and then last year absolutely 8. Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel both had those. So I think Chase Claypool had 12 touchdowns 2 years ago, had a rough season last year. I think he's poised to have a bounce back. Being able to get him in the 12th round, I think, is a steal. I know that's a homer pick. I'm a Steelers fan, but we're shooting for the fences here in the late rounds, and if he can find a connection, he's got the jump ball talent and hands to be relevant.
Look at who's number 1 is Kadarius Toney, who I would not be taking because he doesn't even want to play for that team. So why would I want him? My fantasy, absolutely not. All right, this is where it gets like, I don't know. Who do I have? I have lots of wide receivers, so I'm probably going to have more wide receivers.
That's my catchphrase, Anthony.
My running backs are meh. Who's available at quarterback since I only have 1? Yeah, no thank you. I never get 2 tight ends. I just hope that somebody decent's on the waiver wire. All right. I'm going to go Michael Gallup because that's my homer pick.
And you have 17 other receivers, so you should be fine letting him sit on your bench and heal. When he comes back, he's going to be the number 2.
Also, at this point, I'm at the point where I'm like, my running backs don't thrill me. They don't get me super excited. But if I can stack a bunch of good wide receivers up and still have enough good wide receivers to play every week, I can use it for trade as well. So I don't love all these guys right here, though.
Should start looking to fill the.
How many?
I feel you. Yeah. Mine is absolute. Oh wait, yeah, absolutely.
This is gonna be a real homer pick, way too early pick, but I'm doing it anyway because if I don't get Evan McPherson in one league, I will literally cry. Don't do this.
Take the kicker.
Don't do it.
Oh, are we to make sure we're low? Oops.
Look, he went Tucker. See, that's what happens too. Is somebody? This always happens to me. I always get screwed. Somebody starts it. Somebody takes a defense. Somebody takes a kicker, and you're like, oh no, here they go. Because then everybody else is like, oh, that's what we're doing right now, and they start taking them too, and then I never get who I want.
I am not gonna take a kicker. That's silly.
I wouldn't suggest taking a kicker to like your literal last pick, second to last pick, but I'm
gonna take, since Anthony gave me crap about my non-healable elbow quarterback, I'm gonna take a backup quarterback that I think has a lot of upside because they have an ungodly amount of weapons that all go in the top 5 rounds. So somebody's got to get the ball. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are taken in the first 3 rounds. There's a quarterback throwing them the ball. So if they're going to get a lot of points and they're going to eat Anthony, then he's also going to eat. So let's go to him. Let's see. Running backs here that have a chance at being a starter. I like Rachaad White a lot. He is an ASU boy. I like the...
See, there goes the defense. So now everyone will start taking
all the defenses. Coming into the last couple picks here, you're kind of just throwing darts at the wall, hoping you hit something big. Somebody you like to.
These are the people that you're probably going to drop to pick somebody else up off the waiver wire later anyway, so it's not that serious. These picks used to stress me out more than anything because it's just like, who at this point? I don't want any of these people. Like, what am I doing? But then you realize that it really doesn't matter because you're probably not going to use them anyway. Where's Justin going? Who's Justin's a picture of? Is that Naj?
Yes.
Why did he do that? Justin is a Patriots fan.
Justin, what are we going to do? Justin already has his kicker, has Trey Lance at quarterback, took his defense in New England.
Speaking of being a Patriots fan, there it is. Alrighty, I'm gonna go Steelers defense because I just like to get them, just so I can laugh at Sydney, and then I'm gonna go get a backup quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who isn't great but is fine for fantasy purposes if I absolutely needed somebody. Look at all those kickers.
T-Law, I love that pick there in the last round. Potential to go bananas this year.
He's got young quarterbacks. His team is young all around. Really.
I'm going to take the other receiver in case Terry McLaurin gets hurt. Just kind of like a receiver handcuff. Go Jahan Dotson. And that is it for our mock draft, guys. Just to give you an example. So we're going to go. I just want to go look at that team that took all those receivers.
You can hit that arrow and put that down.
Oh, yeah. I would have done that a long time ago if I could have done that. Sorry about that. So this guy took 3 receivers in the first round. He ended up with James Conner, Breece Hall, Kareem Hunt, and James Robinson at running back. That is a tough lineup to try and deal with. You're going a rookie running back that's going to split time with Michael Carter. James Conner's not a bad running back to have, but Kareem Hunt already trying to get out, and James Robinson might be a backup to Travis Etienne. So that's going to be tough. Just to give you an example that not getting a receiver or running back in those first 3 rounds can definitely come back to bite you.
There's another team that did that too, didn't they? That team ate
They took Austin Eckler, but then went 3 straight receivers, and then got Josh Jacobs. I'm not mad at it. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire in what is that, the 7th round?
Yeah.
Is not bad at all, actually. So that one turned out okay. So, I mean, it's not terrible, but he did get that first-round running back, which absolutely helps hold it down for him.
Would you do anything different? I already know what I would do different. Or do you pull it back up again? Do you like your team?
Let's see. So, Ash.
So what I would do different is I would not get Josh Allen. I would do exactly what I said was my strategy and wait on quarterback. I would have tripled up on running backs because after that I didn't like any of them really. So I would have went running back because I feel like my wide receivers are good. I don't hate my tight end, but I would have, in place of where I got Pollard, I would have rather have taken like a Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott type quarterback and gotten a better running back early on. So I already know that's what I would do different. Do you like yours? Do you feel good about it?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Elijah Mitchell, and A.J. Dillon at running back. Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, and Brandon Cooks, 3 receivers, and then Adam Thielen coming off the bench. I'm not mad at it at all. Dallas Goedert isn't my favorite tight end, but it's not terrible. I like the 2 quarterbacks I ended up getting in my late round picks, being Jahan Dotson, Claypool, and Gage. Have a lot of upside with the Rashad White as well.
Yeah, I like how late I got Gallup because I think Gallup's going to be good once he can play, and I don't think he's going to be out that long. We should judge Justin.
Yep, Justin ended up with Mark Andrews and Pat French Fries, definitely 2 studs at tight end. Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, and Damian Harris at running back, and then didn't get another running back until Tyler Algier. I think is actually a great running back pick late, but the fact that you only have 4 is a little sus. It could come into a problem. You lose 1 to injury, or 1 isn't performing as they should. Like Ramondre Stevenson takes over Damian Harris's role, or for whatever reason, that could come back to bite you. But got that Freiermuth trade bait. Receiver-wise, Michael Pittman I like a lot. DJ Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, a bunch of upside. Sky Moore there as well.
There's a lot of faith in young guys that just you don't know yet, though.
Hey, those are a gamble.
But yeah, they could really pay off, though.
Yep, definitely. So definitely not bad teams at all. All right. That was our first mock draft. Justin. I can't read that. Can you read that?
Going rookies later. Going rookies later in the draft, always a gamble as they can either pop off or struggle. It always best to listen to the OTAs and decide what rookies could be good for you. I agree. I agree with that. Because your rookie's doing great, and I didn't even think he would be, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something that special, but apparently he's popping off. He's going to be rookie of the year, apparently. I need to go bet it. Put it in.
Yep. Not bad. Sorry, our draft was supposed to start, but it's not working.
Words are hard. I'll look at it later. It doesn't matter.
But that was our draft. First mock draft of the season. If you have any questions, like always, please ask. Just wanted to give you a tidbit of what that was, and then we're gonna finish out these shows some similar way to the way we did it last year. We always ended last year's fantasy shows with a bet that we liked. A bet of the week is what we had called it. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys a futures bet, since that's kind of the only thing we got right now that we kind of like jumping into, and give you the odds and stuff. Do you have a bet that you like, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
So I like, I'm going to go to my bets that I already have in, with the futures being already available to, I want my pick. What's your pick? What did I miss?
What is your pick?
But my bet for futures, I have a couple. I've already got a lot of money on the Steelers being over 7.5 wins, going against exactly what Andrew said they're going to do. A couple fun ones, though, that I have in. I have TJ Watt to be the regular season MVP at plus 30,000. I bet $5 I can win 1,500. So Let's go, TJ.
What are the odds for Pickens to win Rookie of the Year?
That's a good one. Let's see.
I stole it from Andrew. I don't know.
Let's see.
I like betting Rookie of the Year or Like, who do you think is going to win Defensive Player of the Year? Because I bet that last year and won a lot of money. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I bet Micah immediately after, like, during training camp. Because I was like, oh, this guy's going to be good. And I won a lot of money off that, too. So I like to bet that. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Najee Harris at plus 10,000 to be Offensive Player of the Year. Might take that, too.
Oh, I like that. That's not a bad one.
Comeback Player of the Year, Derrick Henry is there.
Derrick Henry to me came back already. He played in the playoffs. He can't be comeback Player of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, the favorite is Kenny Pickett at plus 700.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Breece Hall at plus 900 a second. Traylon Burks, Drake London. This is in order.
He's not even gonna play.
George Pickens is plus 2,500
I
right
like
now.
that. I would bet that. Who's rookie? Sorry, I should have looked at this before, but I didn't.
Who's rookie? What?
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh.
Sorry.
Kayvon Thibodeau is the favorite. Aiden Hutchinson is tied. So Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson are tied for top. Trayvon Walker and Kyle Hamilton's tied for this next. Ahmad Gardner and Derek Stingley after that.
There was a ton of like really good defensive players that got drafted, so I'm curious. I don't know what I would do for that one yet.
But yeah, so I've
put bets in for my brother. He's betting that the Bengals and Raiders are gonna make it deep into the playoffs. He's really high on the Raiders.
Yep.
But I am not, so I will not be betting that with my own money.
Not bad. But those are some fun futures bets. I have Mike Tomlin to win Coach of the Year. If the Steelers somehow make the playoffs, how do you not give it to him? Other ones, obviously, I'm a very Steelers homer pick when it comes to this, but it's a good time.
Well, that's like last year. I bet Dak Prescott to be comeback player of the year. I bet a lot when you are doing the futures. It's a lot of like, what do I think my team's gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm gonna bet that the Cowboys go. What did Andrew have them at?
13 and
4. That's what I'm gonna go bet now. Let's go.
Oh, I forgot to do these. Oops.
That's all right.
All right. Anyway, that is another one. We're going to do a bet of the week. We're going to pick like our favorite prop bet or our favorite game line or maybe even a parlay for the week when it comes to the actual games. If you like gambling, definitely check that out. And that is going to be it. We'll just do this one, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hot mess.
Always.
God.
Next week, hopefully David's on. If not, we might miss next week and then come back to you in 2 weeks just to get you a little closer to the season. Again, there's not too much to talk about fantasy-wise until you start drafting, which is in about 3 weeks. So for sure we'll be in 2 weeks. Might catch us next week. But if not, check out Ash and the ladies on Thursday. Their first show is this week.
Yes.
Thursday, what time?
4:30 my time.
7:30 Eastern.
Yes.
6:30 Central. 5:30 Mountain.
Episode
4:30
1
Pacific.
of season 2. I'm so excited. We have a lot of good things planned.
So check them out. They're coming up this week. First show there. Check out all the other Let's Talk Football shows. Check out Mr. Handy and the This Week in the SEC. And also Andrew over at North Sports Dynasty. He does a bunch of Dynasty fantasy as well. For anybody that's doing a Dynasty that needs questions or has questions there, hit up Andrew. He is a genius and a lot of fun to watch. Anyway, this is our show. Appreciate you guys.
And the Steelers are going 6-11.